For the last couple of days, I have the car with me, NCR, and people seem to be in love with the vehicle, especially the way the lights are put up front, the Thor's hammer. These also develop as the indicators. The interiors, they feel future ready, the way they are laid out, the way the AC vents come into the picture. This area basically has an inbuilt small camera which will detect your movement. If you are not attentive or if you're yawning, for example, it will give you an alert on the central infotainment system. You've got a battery pack of 69 kilowatt, which means you can get 450 plus in a real world conditions. You can also make out the average speed has been 27. There is no wireless Android Auto. There is no seat ventilation or heating. No sunshade for the glass roof. That's a big miss for the Indian summer.
So once again, it's a car to be bought from the heart, not from the mind.
Volvo's most affordable electric car for the Indian market, the EX30. Now, it's not the most feature loaded for the segment, it's not the most spacious, it doesn't have the value tag as the rivals as well. But there is something about the EX that makes me smile. And the first reason for the smile is the way this one looks. Now, it's not the most biggest in the segment in terms of the dimensions on paper, but look at the way it sits, low and wide with a muscular stance. Pictures or videos don't do justice to the way the EX will have itself on the road. For the last couple of days, I have the car with me, NCR, and people seem to be in love with the vehicle, especially the way the lights are put up front, the Thor's hammer. These also develop as the indicators. The lights at the back, the lights on the pillar at the back, and this shade of color that's come to us. Also, this is a complete glass roof. That's a black contrast with the otherwise lighter shade. The 19-inch wheels which seem to fill the gaps very well. People need to understand, brands need to understand, we do need larger wheels. So yes, it's not very high like a proper SUV. Look at this, I stand 6 feet tall. It's low, it's wide, it's a bit aggressive, it's got the muscle, it's got a great setup of lights up front, at the back, and of course the alloy wheels. If you love your cars, if you want your cars to be an extension of your personality, the XC30 will tick that important parameter for you. Now, Volvo has made few things very simple with the EX30. With the key fob in my pocket, I come towards the car, it will sense the key fob. It will not only unlock, but even the car will start on the inside. The ignition will be on and even the AC will start. I get inside, simply go into the D mode and I drive off. Likewise, I'm done with the drive. I come out, I close the door, I walk away, the car will shut down, ignition off, and the car will lock. On the inside of the EX30. Now, initial impressions for me a few days back was that yes, it's a compact vehicle on the inside, but having lived with the EX for the last 3 days, happy to report the space is not lacking. I stand 6 feet tall with a generous build, and I have been feeling comfortable even for the longest of commutes due to the monsoon fury in Delhi. You can make out I have ample amount of headroom, I have ample amount of footwell area, and everything seems to be falling in place around you, seems to be cocooning you in proper luxury and comfort. Yes, there are no physical buttons. The only kind of buttons I see are right over here. I'll explain this part at a later stage. Flat bottom steering and no speedometer console and no HUD. In fact, some of us love to see some displays in front of us, be it the speed or the efficiency or the temperature, but there's nothing to inform the driver. Everything is on the screen. That also means getting distracted to a level. I will just start with the things that are lacking. I in fact made a list. There are so many things which are missing on the EX. I want to tell you that and move that out of the way. There is too much dependency on the screen. It won't even show the efficiency while driving. The screen itself, there's a separate section on that. I'll explain you the things on offer. I told you no front speedo, no HUD. There is no wireless Android Auto. There is no seat ventilation or heating. There is no massage function of the seat, something that has been a highlight for other Volvo cars. No sunshade for the glass roof. That's a big miss for the Indian summer. It looks nice, it's dark as well, but in peak summer, you do want a sunshade for your glass roof. Slightly knee up sitting posture, no rear AC vents, that's a big missing thing. No center armrest for the rear people. The boot is small at 318 liters. No spare wheel. No adjustable regen levels. It's either a one pedal drive or a light regen. No drive modes, no paddle shifters, no adjustable region, I told you. No proper all four window operation. It happens from this part. I'll show you at a later stage. And of course, the front is also small at under 10 liters. So these are the things missing in the vehicle. But otherwise, the interiors, they feel future ready. The way they are laid out, the way the AC vents come into the picture. The doors are clean because the speakers are right over here and the door pads are generous as well. In terms of space, no issues. You have space on the door pads and lots of space right over here. Let me show it to you. Now this is a completely clear area. There is no speedometer or even no HUD. So while you drive in the car, you don't have anything in your view in terms of the display functions. This area basically has an inbuilt small camera which will detect your movement. If you are not attentive or if you're yawning, for example, it will give you an alert on the central infotainment system. This is a complete soundbar area. There are no speakers on the door, but the soundbar with the subwoofer is on the front side. As you can make out, there is a large door pad space on the doors, but there is no speaker setup on the doors as such. Now this is a fixed armrest and it also has I think one of the only few physical buttons. These are for the power windows and very clever usage. I can control the front power windows. If I press rear, I can now control the rear power windows as well. And of course the car lock unlock is also placed right over here. But look at the cool and clever features. This makes the whole area very clutter free, very clean. But if I want my space for the cup holders or knickknacks, I can access this. Again, I can use this as the cup holders or I can take this back and get more space for your bigger items. I can adjust this in two steps. This is completely open, this is half open and this goes back. And look at the space on offer now. I can put larger items right over here, away from eyes also when I'm parking the car. My C-type chargers come right over here and the wireless charging is on the front part, accessible. So these are the cool and practical features in terms of what Volvo has given the EX30 in terms of a born electric platform. Now on the screen you can make out for the last 160 kilometers we've been getting an efficiency of 14.7. It's got a battery pack of 69 kilowatt, which means you can get 450 plus in a real world conditions. You can also make out the average speed has been 27. If you are in good flowing traffic, which were in the morning, average speed is higher, the efficiency is even better. Of course, you also have a proper graph showcasing you the kind of consumption in the last 50 kilometers or the last 100 kilometers. There are no physical buttons on the dash as such. A lot of functions, almost all the functions have to be done from the screen. That could be time consuming and sometimes a bit frustrating. For example, I go into the settings to get even simple things like the outside mirrors. To change them, I have to go to the screen as a two-step function, then I can use the buttons on the steering wheel. Likewise, I have to be on the screen to even open the glove box on the inside. That itself is not too spacious. The same screen also gives me options for the outside lights. They are on right now for the shoot. I'll go into the auto mode, but again I need to confirm then from the button on the steering wheel. Likewise, I have the options for the rain sensitivity, for the opening of the trunk. That's a powered trunk at the back. I also have the functions for the ambience, for the lane keep aiding, for the one pedal drive or for the driver alerts. All these are on the screen. Likewise, you have the status for the trip info, for the tire pressure, for the user manual and the other settings. These settings give you access over the driving, the controls, the sound, a great sounding audio setup. In terms of connectivity, there is wireless CarPlay, but there is no wireless Android Auto. That's a bit of a bummer. The main page also has you the Google Maps. These are inbuilt, not from your phone, and a few hard-coded buttons. For example, for the camera. Again, this is a great quality camera which gives you a bird's eye view of what's happening around the car. You also have the hard coding for the glove box. I told you, for the defogger, for the Apple CarPlay, there is no wireless and auto, I told you, and of course the driver aids are also visible over here. You also have the volume option on the screen. It is also on the steering wheel. Thankfully, you have the controls for your AC like this, in which you can control a lot of things, including going into the auto mode. You can also have a look at the air quality, which is fabulous right now. It's got an inbuilt air purifier and clever things. You can have the timers also set over here for your parking comfort and so on. Back to the home screen of The EX, when you're driving the car, unfortunately, nowhere can you see the efficiency. You can only see what gear you are in, the amount of range left, the battery left, and of course the odometer. But while driving, I cannot see the efficiency. I can either see my maps, which you see right now, or for the efficiency, I again have to go into the car status, but then that takes off the maps from my driving. Moving back to the seat, no ventilation or no heating, but this is adjustable. Great rotary dial on the right side for adjusting the seat, and once you do that, the screen will ask you, do you want to save the new settings or not, like it's asking me right now. A clever touch. The headrest, they feel comfortable. The seat also seems to hug you very well. The window lines are low, so you get a good view of what's happening around you. So overall, good place to be on the inside in terms of the future ready look here, but features definitely are missing. Second row for your family / friends, is it bad or good? Let me go there. Now this is the problem with the EX. It is really a proper compact SUV, not even a mid-size SUV standard. The front seat is for someone who is 5'11". I stand 6 feet tall. I just have about half an inch or 1 inch of knee room left over here. I can't even slide my feet under the front seat. On the good part, there is ample amount of headroom in spite of the low height of the vehicle otherwise. The doors, well, they do not open too wide, so getting into the EX and out for tall people will be an issue. Like the front doors, the design here is minimalistic, even the way you have to pull the handle, but thankfully there are speakers on the lower part. On the practical point, huge roof, so that adds to the airy feel. Both the seats have pockets right over here for your mobiles and for your magazines. A huge space right over here to keep your knickknacks. This space is missing for the front people because the armrest is not adjustable. For the rear people, there is ample space right over here. And I can even take this out. Look at this, a lot of space right over here. You do have a power window switches on the upper part. The same place is the place for your C-type charging outlet. So in terms of storage spaces and the features for the rear seat, the issue is with the space, not too much with the way it looks or the features. Of course, no armrest over here, which is a bit of a bummer, but you have 3 adjustable headrests. That's Volvo is known for the safety kind of thing. Also a flat floor, so if you have a small kid sitting right over here, he or she will not be complaining. But yeah, space definitely is missing. In the same price, iX1 has this much of knee room left. Even the BYD offerings or the EV6 or the Ioniq, they are far better in terms of space. So the EX, do not look at the ES as a chauffeur-driven car. You have to look at the EX as a personal-driven car. Boot space 318. Let's check out. And finally, the boot space of the EX. It's powered, thanks for that, but this is limited. It's only about 318 liters of boot space. Thankfully, the second row has adjustability for 60-40 split, so that adds to the practicality. No spare wheel, but if I take this up like this, then I get more and more space. Now it can easily fit in, I think, 3 or 4 large suitcases, but if this is in place, the space definitely is on the smaller part, but there is more space up front. So the boot may be small, but you do have some space right over here. It's called the frunk in pure EVs, and not too large, but currently it holds the emergency charger of the EX. I still have space for a couple of small bottles or a couple of small packs, and thankfully these are hydraulic mounts, so getting it off, getting it up is easy as well.
Now on the driving part of the EX. First of all, the steering is definitely on the lighter side, something that we all want in our cars. For urban cars, a light steering just adds to the ease of driving. It's still pouring on the outside and hence the windows are fogging up. Let me just clear them out. Yes. So yeah, there is only one version in terms of the powertrain on offer. It's a rear wheel drive, so you can have the joy of driving. It's got a pretty large battery as well, 69 kilowatt hour battery pack, and the power and torque figures are very generous on your figure on a screen right now. 0 to 100 is just over 5 seconds. That's pretty quick for what is a compact electric SUV. And let me start the driving thing with the run from 0 to 100. So definitely on the quick side, and people who seek the vehicles to be entertaining and quick enough, well, they will be happy with the EX30. Next question on the range electric cars, that question always pops out. Well, in our traffic situations for the last 3 days, the kind of run we have done on the screen, you can make out that is a pretty good figure. With this 69 kilowatt hour battery pack, you can easily get 400 plus in mixed driving conditions, and not 350 that some of the other media houses have been saying. I think if you're light with the right foot, 450 is a given. Thankfully, it supports super fast DC charging speeds of up till 150 kilowatt. A lot of chargers, especially in the southern part of India, are getting options for 120 and plus. So by the time you take a coffee break for your tea or coffee during a long trip for a 20-minute break, the car will juice up for a significant distance, and that also takes care of the kind of range on offer. Busy junction, thankfully we are green. Talking of junction and traffic, visibility is good enough, no complaints on that front. It's a compact vehicle. On the inside, initially you feel that, but everything is in place. Sort of frameless mirrors, they look great on the outside. If you still want more aid from the surround view camera, it works very well. The quality of the camera definitely is nice. What else? No adjustable regen. It's either a one pedal drive, which you can activate from the screen, or if deactivate that, you go into a very low regen sort of a mode. So even if I lift off, you don't have the regen coming in, so you have to go into the one pedal mode. That, if you get used to it, it's a very good setup. You can also come to a complete halt in traffic, and the auto hold will take over, and then you start going forward. No drive modes also as such. It's basically full power coming in like this. You do get pushed, and it feels, sorry, my items are moving at the back seat. It does feel quick. Rivals also offer a similar performance, plus minus half a second, so it's right there with the rivals. 19-inch alloy wheels, they look great on the outside. Thank you Volvo for giving us a great setup for the wheels. Usually we have SUVs or crossovers in which the wheel size is not too generous, but I think the wheels play a very important role in the design. Do they rob the car of ride quality? I don't think so, unless you're going into a really bad section or a patch which has come off because of monsoons. You will not be complaining. In the kind of driving I do, the kind of route I have from my home to the office, yes, there are undulations, there are bad patches, but the 19-inch wheels do not rob the car of ride quality. The side profile of the tires, the wall is not too generous, but suspension is great. I can say it's comfortable enough, and at higher speeds, for example around Dwarka Expressway, you're cruising at 120, the planted feel definitely remains. One grouse is that because of the slightly higher floor, you do sit with the knees up position, which is more apparent at the back, not too much over here, but even then, yes, it's slightly on the knees up position. It could be tiring if you're going for a really long drive, maybe for 5-6 hours, you could start sensing that. But if you're doing your normal commutes, an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, the knee up position will not be of bother. It's an EV, of course. It's very quiet on the inside. The tires also play a vital role. Just a hint of extra road noise or the wind noise will come in over 100, but that's the kind of driving you do only for possibly 5% of the entire week. So again, no reasons to complain on that front. You do have ADAS into the picture, and a few things you can switch off from the screen, which I have been doing. But otherwise, the steering gives you the physical control to activate a few things like the adaptive cruise control, or you can fiddle between the lane keep assist as well. Right side of the steering, of course, is for the horns and for the important OK button, which the screen will keep on asking you if you are fiddling with a few things. I'm trying to change my lane right over here, but there is no indication on the screen. Basically, the blind spot monitor is missing, and that's something cars which cost half the price or even less are offering you. So I think in terms of safety, the blind spot monitor, or whenever we give indicators, that camera should come on automatically on the screen, that is missing. Also, if you're coming from a normal car, the first impression of a clean area will take a bit of time getting used to, but it's very helpful for those who are short in height or those who can't seem to handle traffic very well inside a car. This gives you a very clean area, and hence you feel more in command, more safe as well while driving in congested traffic conditions or the rush hour traffic I am now in. In rush hour, Although it's very quick, outright acceleration is very quick. In rush hour, if you just want to be with the traffic or gently overtake them, that happens very easily. It's a very mature, I would say, setup in terms of the power or the torque that kicks in. With a path throttle response, you can't even imagine the kind of performance on offer. But of course, if you go flat out, then that bonkers kind of acceleration comes into the picture. For the peak server, I think the AC vents also need a mention. They look cool and they're slightly away from the steering. Usually in a few cars, the flow from the AC vent, the left vent, gets obstructed because of the steering wheel. Not in this case. Properly comes onto my face. Even the right one is positioned pretty well. So in terms of throw, sorted, but I have my own reservations for the kind of performance because of the lack of a sunshade. In peak summer, the lack of a sunshade might catch you off guard. Last but not the least, if you are a music lover, the stock setup, the Harman Kardon setup will definitely please you. Again, no speakers on the door, but most of the entire setup is right over here, and it sounds pretty good. So something, if you are a bass lover or music lover, the EX will have you sorted. So once again, it's a car to be bought from the heart, not from the mind, but more on that in the verdict. And out on twisties, open roads with a bit of curves and corners coming in. EVs, low center of gravity, but this particular Volvo, the EX, is enjoyable as well. Suspension, in spite of having the comfort factor, plays an important role with the handling department. You also have 19-inch wheels with narrower side walls, so that takes care of the flex on the side. And you see a curve, you see a corner, you start going fast, and the EX turns out to be rewarding. Again, one of those things which makes you smile. You know, I've been telling you, EX is a car that you purchase with your heart, not with the mind. And on weekends, this is a kind of fun factor that the EX can definitely offer you. Also, it sits low, but the ground clearance is ample. We do have a few large speed breakers over here, but not an issue. It goes on well. And a brick road, comfortable ride. I told you, it's only when the road is really broken is when you do get the feeling of getting thrown around. But for 95% of usage on most Indian roads, it will not complain. One more breaker and you go getting pushed into the seat. Good stuff.
And that brings us to the end of this video. Now, as of today, prices are not out, but safe to assume it's going to be around the 50 lakh rupee mark. And that could be a bit of a bummer. As you see, in the same price segment, plus and minus 10%, you have so many other options from global brands. You have the BMW iX1, largest selling in the segment and super spacious. BMW is known for the bigger network as well and a better resale value. Then you have the great twins from BYD, two options, the Seal, of course, the Sea Lion. They look fabulous. They have so much tech, more features as well. Then you have options from Hyundai, the Ioniq. You also have the Kia EV6. So all these options have a bigger footprint. They have more features. They have more space on the inside, and most of them have a bigger network as well. Also better resale value. I think this car EX30 is one of those cars that you will buy from your heart, not from your mind. It might not be practical, but it could make you feel happy, make you feel excited, and bring that smile on your face. If you already have a few cars in your family, you want a third or a fourth car, this one could be the one you will enjoy driving. However, keep in mind the pointers I've told you. It might not be a family or a friend's kind of a SUV with the limitation of space. You will take time adjusting all those functions from the screen, not the best of resale value, and of course a whole lot of features are missing. Some of them are shocking, like the rear AC vents. But all said and done, it looks nice and gives you a reason to smile. Plus, Volvo is known for the safety, and the whole setup is efficient as well. What do you think about the EX30? Please let us know in the comment section below. And we have been doing a lot of EV drives in the last few months. We have taken the BE6 to the mighty Pangong Lake in Ladakh. We have taken the Tata Punch EV to Bhutan as well. We have taken the Tata Curve to Kaho as well. So all those videos, the e-drives, the links are currently in the description section below. And once again, a great enjoyable car, but it has its own shortcomings.